Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation. This program is suitable for general viewing.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome. It is a very beautiful Friday morning. Welcome Ramadan Kareem from where you are watching us from. My name is Abdurrahman Gadaffi Yassin and this is the Muslim Insight. We have plenty of beautiful stories. But first, let's get the headlines.
In this affordable housing program, there is a chance for every Kenyan.
Housing Bill. President William Ruto signs the Affordable Housing Bill into law, forcing a 1.5% deduction on Kenyan salary.
Anachukua nafasi ya kwanza bila shaka ni mtoto wetu kutoka Madrasa Sharq Afrika ambaye ni Abdul Latif Abdi Mirad. Barakallahu fik.
Trip of a lifetime. Jamia Quran competition winner awarded trip to Mecca, Saudi Arabia to perform Umrah.
Jamia employees' pensions deduction will now go to Takaful Umbrella Fund.
Saving for the future. GMC employees to get retirement benefit as Jamia signs deal with the Takaful Umbrella Fund.
Thank you so much and welcome once again. My sign language interpreter is Mariam Jamaluddin. Into our first story about the tax and levy in the country is that President William Ruto on Tuesday signed the Affordable Housing Bill into law after it was passed by the Parliament. The new law now means that Kenyans will from this month pay the housing levy of 1.5% tax from both the employee and the employer. The bill establishes a framework for the collection of the affordable housing levy and implementation of the affordable housing programs.
Speaking during the signing ceremony at State House, Nairobi, President Ruto said the bill will enable every Kenyan to have a chance to own a house.
In this affordable housing program, there is a chance for every Kenyan. Those who want bigger houses will have an opportunity to get it. Those who want affordable houses will have an opportunity to get it. And those who want social houses will have an opportunity to get it.
The bill establishes 4 components of affordable housing, which includes the housing units for persons earning less than 20,000 Kenya shillings, middle class for people earning more than 49,000 Kenya shillings, general affordable housing for those earning between 20,000 to 149,000 Kenya shillings, and rural housing for those living outside the urban areas.
20% of the housing units will be social houses. 50% will be affordable houses. That means the people who are who earn 20,000 and above, they will have a 50% chance to own houses in our affordable housing program. And 30% will be the people in the middle class or the people further up the ladder.
The president is targeting to construct 200,000 affordable housing annually, promising to create between 600,000 to 1 million jobs each year.
Right now, Your Excellency, we have over 120,000 young men and women working in these sites. In every project, Your Excellency, we have to address the education infrastructure around the projects. That is to say, with this fund, Your Excellency, we have opened new doors, new opportunities, and new hope for Kenyans.
The path is now clear so that we can create employment for our young people and we can give the Kenyan people dignified shelter.
He said the affordable housing project will not only provide employment opportunities for young people in the country, but also ensure that there is sufficient land available for agriculture and food production.
I want to commit to the student fraternity that under this program, we are going to have a serious rollout. It is already underway on student accommodation that's going to be affordable, decent, and is going to be revolutionary to make sure that our students have a place to stay.
The bill also addresses the issues of employment, support for local communities, and internship opportunities for students.
Kabla ya site yetu ya Ruiru, ulikuwa umewahi kufanya kazi mahali pengine? What opportunities did you have in the past?
Okay, previously I was working naenda kufanya hizi nyumba ndogo ndogo kazi, na sometimes hazipatikani kila saa, kila wakati. So most of the time nilikuwa home na shanga nitafanya nini, sina usaidizi naweza saidia mtoto wangu. Yani nilikuwa tunateseka. But thanks to the affordable housing, wamenipea that opportunity and I'm working now.
The High Court had declared the housing levy unconstitutional in 2023 before the Court of Appeal upheld a decision of maintaining that the levy was introduced without a legal framework. Reporting for the Muslim Insight, my name is Hafsa Fahmi.
Thank you so much, Hafsa Fahmi, for that story. Moving forward is into the good and beautiful story about the Quran competition is that Abdul Latif Abdi Mirad emerged the winner of the 13th edition of Jamia Mosque Nairobi Quran competition on Sunday. The competition was organized by Jamia Mosque Nairobi in collaboration with the culture attaché of the Saudi Arabia Embassy in Nairobi. The overall winner was awarded a trip to Mecca, Saudi Arabia to perform Umrah from Senator Travel Service Limited.
Alichukua nafasi ya kwanza bila shaka ni mtoto wetu kutoka Madrasa Sharq Afrika ambaye ni Abdul Latif Abdi Mirad. Barakallahu fik. Alhamdulillah. Kwa urefu na kwa ilmu pia mashallah.
The 13th edition of the Boys Quran competition came to an end on Sunday. The 3-day Boys Annual Quran competition attracted a huge turnout, with a 23-year-old Abdul Latif Abdi from Sharq Afrika emerging the overall winner in the whole Quran memorization category.
Hawa ndio ambao waliongoza katika kitengo hiki, na yule ambaye alichukua nafasi ya tatu alipata alama 95.67. The one who scored the third position got 95.67%. Alichukua nafasi ya pili amescore 96.17%. Nimeambia nukta, hakuna hata alama. Alichukua nafasi ya kwanza alipata alama 96.56.
A total of 276 contestants competed in the preliminary zonal competition, with the top 3 advancing to the final, which was held at Jamia Mosque in Nairobi on Sunday.
Tuombeeni Mungu, inshallah zawadi zinapanda na mashindano tapanuka. Lengo ni kwamba inshallah taala either 2025, 1446 or 1447 the finals inshallah itakuwa either Nyayo Stadium ama inshallah itakuwa Kasarani. Barisab. Kamati na majlis ya jamia imeshapitisha ruwaza hiyo kwamba inshallah tutakuwa na national tutangaza.
More than 60 participants from 50 educational institutions within Nairobi and its environs, as well as from counties of Kajiado, Nakuru and Isiolo, participated in the competition.
Na national hii tunataka iwe tofauti. Unakuta katika musabaka ambayo inaambiwa national watu wanakwenda binafsi, hawajashindana kabla. Sisi inshallah tutajaribu kuamiliana na madaris katika county mbalimbali. Wafanye mashindani katika county hizo, washindi wao waje washindane hapa Nairobi inshallah, so that it is truly a national competition inshallah ta'ala.
Speaking during the finals, Jamia Mosque Committee Deputy Chairperson Abdul Latif Esaji said the competition aimed to protect and strengthen the tradition of memorizing the Holy Quran.
Wote walioshiriki katika mashindano haya ni washindi. Kwa hivyo inshallah baada kumaliza hafla hii, wale ambao hawatabahatika kuja hapa mbele kupokea zawadi, kwa hivyo kila mwanafunzi ambaye ameshiriki inshallah watatoka na bahasha ya 6,000 inshallah, 6,000 shillings.
The Jamia Mosque Nairobi Zonal Quran Competition elimination started in January 2024 at Masjid Al Farouk in Pumwani and came to an end in Komarok at Masjid Al Aqsa in Nairobi. The girls' competition started on Thursday, 21st, and it is expected to end on 24th March 2024. Reporting for the Muslim Insight, my name is Kasim Mustafa.
We wish all the participants congratulations for their performance in the Quran competition. Moving forward, and a good story to Jamia Mosque employees is that Jamia Mosque Committee in Nairobi has signed an agreement with the Takaful Umbrella Fund to provide pension benefits to its staff members. The pension scheme, which is Sharia compliant, will see Jamia staff invest and save for the retirement without compromising their religious belief and ensure that they can maintain their standard of living once they are out of work.
The agreement, which was signed on Tuesday in an event held at Jamia Mosque Nairobi, will enable Jamia staff members to invest and save for their retirement.
Today is a milestone day, and I'm glad this is happening on a holy month of Ramadan. Takaful Umbrella Fund, which is a pension scheme that has been existing for the last 10 years, which believes and invests in the principle and tenets of Islam, have today onboarded a new baby, a very important one in Jamia. What that means is Jamia employees' pensions deduction will now go to Takaful Umbrella Fund.
Speaking to the Muslim Insight, Jamia Mosque Committee Chairman Sheikh Muhammad Warfa commended Takaful Umbrella Fund for developing a Sharia-compliant pension scheme that will provide retirement benefits to the Muslim community in line with the Islamic principles.
Jamia has been trying here, there, for some time now, more than what we are now talking about, as far as taking care of the staff. And at times we even went beyond, and we wanted to look something which is national.
Yes.
Because there are too many people. Nairobi Muslim population is getting bigger by the day, almost 1 million plus now, and therefore all of them have this and that problem. And at times the center where people look for help is Jamia. So we are trying to offload and see if we can be able to see how we are able to help the Muslim Ummah.
On his part, Jamia Mosque Deputy Chairman Abdul Latif Isaji called on Takaful Umbrella Fund to engage the Muslim community through sensitization and awareness programs.
Today is a milestone for us in the history of Jamia, and I believe also in the history of Takaful Umbrella Fund. We have always supported our own institutions for information. The discussion for the formation of the first Islamic bank in Kenya started in this room. Yeah, we have now a retirement benefit scheme that is Sharia compliant. Alhamdulillah, we are still trying to lobby and influence, as you know, for other areas of the Islamic finance arena to come on board, not only here, but also in East Africa.
According to the Secretary General of Jamia Mosque Committee, Abdul Bari Hamid, for many years, JMC has been working to get a Sharia-compliant pension scheme for its employees, and the signing of the MOU has come at the right time.
It's been a long journey, and Brother Ogle there, so we have come across, and we have another committee behind us, not only Mzair and Abdul Latif. There is a full majlis behind us, so we had to convince to them as well. It was not easy. It was taken about 2 years, I believe.
2 how many years? 2 years. 3 years. 3 years actually.
3 years. So even now, as you said, some of my staff, go jittery. Jittery, I'll say there are Ruto tax coming in.
Takaful Umbrella Fund is the first Sharia-compliant retirement benefit scheme in East and Central Africa. It is a retirement benefits fund that pulls together retirement benefits for small, medium or large organizations and institutions with the purpose of coming up with a practical, cost-effective, Sharia-compliant and professionally managed retirement benefit scheme for the members. The fund operates as a defined contribution scheme, with the employee contributing a percentage of his or her basic salary into the fund and the employer adding on to each with an equal, less than or higher percentage. Salma Salim, The Muslim Insight.
Thank you Thank you so much, Salma Salim, for that story. Moving forward is that amidst the various directives issued by the government aimed at eradicating illicit liquor, drug and substance abuse, Defense Cabinet Secretary Adan Duale has called on the Muslim scholars and businessmen to join the war against drug and substance abuse. Speaking in Garissa town at Imul Qaimi Mosque when he presided over the closing ceremony of the Garissa County Quran competition, Duale said the war against drug and drug abuse cannot be left to the government alone.
The government has continued its fight against drug and drug abuse in the country. The National Administration and administrative officers in collaboration with the National Police Service, the county government and NACADA are conducting crackdowns on kiosks, stores and peddlers engaged in vice. Speaking in Garissa Town, Defense Cabinet Secretary Adan Duale said the war against drugs and substance abuse is a must-win for the nation. He called on the religious leaders to be in the forefront in fighting drugs and drug abuse among the youth.
I want to urge all the Muslim leaders, scholars, religious leaders, businessmen, because we are part and parcel of the Kenyan society. We must place and take our position to make sure that we get rid of drugs in our communities, in our homes, and in our towns.
Elsewhere, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who is spearheading the fight against drug and drug abuse, said the government will not relent until the menace is fully dealt with.
Vijana wetu hawatausiwa sumu na mtu ikisemekana ni pombe. Mabaa haitafunguliwa mchana na usiku. Ile mabaa ambayo iko na leseni ifunguliwe saa 11. Wale wanataka kutumia watumie saa 5 waende wakalale. Hii ya kukunywa mchana haiwezekani. Hii ya kukunywa mpaka asubuhi haiwezekani.
Last week, 3 people were arrested with 353 rolls of bang worth 75,000 shillings in Mororo, Tana River County. The war on drugs and drug abuse has led to Directorate of Criminal Investigations boss Mohammed Amin announcing that the government will open an anti-narcotics office in Garissa to deal with drug trafficking in the northeastern region. Saida Aboud Bilail reporting for the Muslim Insight.
Thank you so much, Saida Aboud, for that story. Into our last story is that in a bid to meet the growing demand for skilled communication professional in an increasingly interconnected world, Aga Khan University Graduate School of Media and Communication launched its Master of Arts in Strategic Communication program. The 2-year program designed to equip students with the knowledge and skills necessary to excel in the dynamic field of strategic communications offers a diverse range of electives including health and development, political finance and investor relation and development and climate change, and is set to commence in this academic year.
From corporate entities to non-profit organizations, from governmental agencies to international bodies, the ability to craft and disseminate messages that resonate with diverse audiences is integral to success and impact.
This program was born out of a need to address key communication challenges that are in society today. Our program is market responsive, and we believe that a graduate of this program will be capable of excelling in any strategic communication role.
The Aga Khan University Graduate School of Media and Communication Dean Professor Nancy Buka emphasized the importance of effective communication in today's world.
With the constant evolution of technology and the increasing interconnectedness of the world, the way we communicate is constantly shifting. We must learn to navigate these changes and embrace the new normals. Consequently, the speed and brevity of communications has become crucial in this digital age.
She said, in an era where information is abundant but attention is scarce, the ability to communicate strategically is indispensable.
Strategic communication also plays a critical role in shaping perceptions, fostering collaboration, and mobilizing communities towards shared goals. The Masters of Arts in Strategic Communication, therefore, is a very great program that will help in contributing to the increasing in the awareness of the society, especially for government activities and achievements.
Speaking at the launch, Chief Guest and Government Spokesman Dr. Isaac Mwaura noted that communicators are more than conveyors of information, whether shaping public opinion, driving organizational change, or fostering societal engagement. Strategic communication lies at the heart of achieving meaningful outcomes.
Within the government, strategic communication plays the role of informing the citizenry about government policies and initiatives. It also provides clear and timely information to the public. This helps to manage public perception, counter the spread of misinformation and disinformation, and alleviate anxiety, especially in times of crisis.
The importance of effective communication has been underscored by recent global events, from the COVID-19 pandemic to social and political upheavals. As organizations and institutions grapple with unprecedented levels of uncertainty and change, the ability to communicate transparently, empathetically, and strategically has emerged as a critical determinant of resilience and success. Reporting for Muslim Insight, my name is Mariam Musa.
Thank you so much, Mariam Musa, for that story. And that marks our first time and our first half, giving you information and updates of all that happened during the week. I'm taking a short break. When we get right back, we're going to have much discussion on matters of Gaza, on how we are going to help them. A very beautiful discussion with the two gentlemen that you're going to see them on our set today. All you have to do is to sit down and wait and get the full information that I'm going to give it to you. I'm taking a short break. When I get right back, prepare for the Gaza discussion.
Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون.
Enyi mlioamini, munapoitwa kuhudhuria swala ya Ijumaa, fanyeni haraka kuikimbilia, muache biashara zenu, hilo ni bora ikiwa mwelewa.
Isikilizeni kwa umakinifu khutba ya Ijumaa
ili uzidi kujenga imani yako na kupata faida nyingi ya siku hii.
Coming to you every Friday from Jamia Mosque, Nairobi.
Live on Horizon TV.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Kama tujuavo, ndugu zetu walioko Palestine, walioko Gaza wanapitia marhala nzito sana kwa sasa. Ni jambo ambalo latuhusu sisi sote na sio watu wa Palestine peke yake. Hawana chakula, hawana maji, hawana dawa, wanaishi katika hali nzito sana. Kwa hivyo kile ambacho weza ukakikadimisha kwa ajili ya Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, jaribu. Msikiti wa Jamia Nairobi wako katika mstari wa mbele katika hayo. Pay bill number 150770, tuachangishie ndugu zetu kwa ukarimu, na usisahau account ni Gaza, na tunaombea Mwenyezi Mungu awapatie nusra ndugu zetu wa Gaza na Palestine kwa ujumla. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
kitabu chenye uongofu kilichoteremshwa kwa mpangilio maalum.
Sura ikiitwa Madania inamaanisha iliteremshwa Mtume sallallahu alaihi wasallam alipokuwa kwa Madina.
Kila sura imepewa jina rasmi na sababu zake za kimsingi.
Inaitwa Suratun Nisa'il Kubra, sura ya wanawake kubwa.
Fahamu sababu za kuteremshwa Qur'an na matukio ya kipekee katika utaratibu huu.
Asema Mwenyezi Mungu wa Nuha, nakumbukeni kisa cha Nuh, tumpomlingania kabla, tukamjibu yale mambo aliyoyaomba, tukawa ni wenye kumwokoa yeye na ahli yake.
Ungana na Profesa Muhammad Salim Badamana katika malengo ya Qur'an kila siku ya Jumapili saa 11 kamili jioni katika Horizon TV.
Kuna faida gani twapata tukimjua Mtume sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
Nabii mwenye ushawishi mkubwa duniani.
Tukizikwa tukitiwa kaburini, tutaulizwa haya maswali matatu: man rabbuk, ma dinuk, man nabiyuk.
Sheikh Jamaluddin anakupa simulizi.
Huwezi kumpenda mtu usiyemjua
na kutambua sunna zake,
lakini ukimjua na ukimtambua Mtume Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, mapenzi yako yatazidi.
Ufahamu Rasulullah, familia na maswahaba wake. Tazama sira ya Mtume kila Jumatatu saa 1 jioni kwenye Horizon TV. Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Once again, welcome back and thank you so much for choosing Horizon TV this morning. This is Muslim Insight and we are in our second segment where we are going to have a sit-down discussion with these two gentlemen, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. One of them is Mohammed Aman. He's from Kibra, KRI. He's going to tell us more about their initiative and what they're doing in order to support and help people in Palestine. And here close to me is my brother, my sheikh, whom we had a discussion with him last week. Is going as well to add inputs on how we can help as well our brothers and sisters who are in Gaza, and some stuffs that we as Muslims in Kenya that we can boycott in order for us to have a good helping and supporting hand to our brothers and sisters in Gaza. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Vipi hali zenyu?
Alhamdulillah.
Now, thank you so much. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you all to our studios today to have this awesome discussion about the people of Gaza. It is really touching, and many people, it seems like they are forgetting, but it is so good and a good picture if still, like Muhammad, still you have you are doing an initiative of whereby you are supporting and doing you're collecting money in order to support these people. Now, welcome once again. MashaAllah. I'll start with you, Muhammad Amin. Maybe first, into this discussion, explain for us what KRI is doing this Ramadan and what is your initiative doing in order to support people of Gaza.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa ahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. So alhamdulillah, the Kibra Ramadan initiative has been an organization that has been vibrant in terms of resilience work within Kibra, and specifically during the holy month of Ramadan, where we try and provide iftar to needy and fasting Muslims during the entire month. So we collaborate with different organizations where we distribute food packs to needy households, but then we also started an initiative 3 years back where we now cook and prepare iftar every single day for each of the 30 or 29 days, and then we also serve those who are unable to get the food packs or do not qualify in one way or the other. So alhamdulillah, that's something that we've been doing over the past few years. And this year, alhamdulillah, we are collaborating with the Voices for Palestine. And we came together because the cause for acting for our brothers and sisters in need the call was far greater than what we had anticipated. And we we kept asking ourselves, what is it that as an individual, as an organization, we could do? And so when we had a conversation with the Voices of Palestine, there was this idea where we could try and do an iftar program dedicated to supporting our brothers and sisters in Gaza. And the Voices of Palestine have been doing this work already for a period of time, where every Fridays, for example, certain masajid would make, for example, biryani, they would sell, and then all the profits they would be dedicating it to Gaza. So on our end, we were looking at a formula of also how can we raise awareness and raise resources on the iftar program that we do. And so when we sat down, we decided there was more impact to be had when we came together as a team. We could realize both the objectives. Number one, provide iftar to needy and fasting Muslims, but more importantly and more significantly is to generate resources that would then be directed to support our brothers and sisters in Gaza. So through that, alhamdulillah, we started an initiative called the Iftar and Gaza campaign, where for every day we raise awareness on this program that we are doing, the cooked iftar, every single day, and continue to raise awareness on the Gaza initiative, with the hope that by the end of Ramadan, inshallah, we'll have provided iftar to fasting Muslims, and as well the resources that are realized get directed towards Gaza. So the target, alhamdulillah, we started with a very with a target that we ended with last year, and that was to provide iftar to 700 fasting Muslims every single day. And alhamdulillah, I'm happy to say that over the first 11 days already, we have exceeded that number.
Alhamdulillah. And that's a beautiful initiative that you guys have started. My dear Shah, maybe what is the state of Gaza right now?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Salatu wassalam ala Rasulillah. Hali yao si nzuri.
No.
Iko baina al-qabul wa raddi, baina ya kupata usaidizi na baina ya kuteseka. Hali yao iko katikati.
Na mkukua tukiangalia saizi kwa runinga tofauti tofauti, zile habari ambazo zinatujia sisi na kuona ndio wengi wanataabika na wengi wanakosa matibabu, wanakosa elimu na mambo mengi zaidi. Ile shughuli ambayo ndugu wetu Muhammad wanajishughulisha nao, ima ya kuchangisha pesa ili ipate kufikia wale wapate usaidizi kidogo. Je, nyinyi mnaichukulia vipi kama viongozi wetu wa kidini?
Ni jambo tumeipatia nguvu. Ni jambo limependeka. Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala tuzungumzia kwa umum, tuambie wala kad karramna bani adama. Kule mbele tuambie wafadhalnahu, amemtukuza mwanadamu na huko amemkirimu na huko amemtukuza. Ile neema ya kwamba huu ni mwanadamu, kando na wale ndugu zetu, sisi tutetea haki za kijamii popote, na tunapinga uharibifu wa umwagaji wa damu aina yoyote duniani. Lakini njia walizochukua ni njia zimetupatia motisha sana, na njia Uislamu umehimiza.
Na labda nikirudi kwako Muhammad Aman, labda which ways are you guys using in terms of collaborating with the communities, maybe leaders or preachers, in terms of making this thing work?
So alhamdulillah, I think the premise for us has always been we have to come together to be able to have a greater impact.
Yes.
And so under this initiative that is then being championed by the Voices for Palestine and our organization through the Iftar program, a lot of the masajid in Nairobi are involved with it to champion for that cause as well.
Okay.
And these are some of our main masajid in each and every locality. But within our indigenous home, for example in Kibra, we work very closely with leaders who have continued to support the programs. For example, I know our former Member of Parliament, Honorable Imran Okoth, has been an avid supporter of the program. We have a few institutions within Kibra that we are also collaborating with, but then we also work very directly with the indigenous people within the villages, wale ambao kwamba ni viongozi katika hizo vitongoji duni. So we work very closely with them to ensure that, number one, this cause is being understood, because we need to raise a lot of awareness on what is happening right now. And number two, they are able to understand what they can do to support the initiative. So alhamdulillah, through this collaboration, we are reaching out to more people, and we are having a greater impact than we had anticipated previously.
And maybe what are some of the stuffs that you guys, you've mentioned of maybe collecting the funds itself. Is there maybe a food after collecting the money? What is the next step? What is the procedure after collecting the money? Do you guys send the money there so that at least it can cater for their needs? Or do you have to cook food, or do you have to buy clothes? Because what we can see on screens is different. Like these people, they also need even a simple thing like having just a shoes. They don't have because of what has happened.
No, Alhamdulillah, I think like you've mentioned, their needs are very dynamic and they're very diverse. What the Voices of Palestine has done previously is they have been able to send out money for example, every week or periodically they would collect the resources and they would send it out to Gaza. So inshallah for this we envision that, but there's a team deliberately working on that and the logistics of ensuring that what is most in need, the most urgent need, they will be able to cater for. For our end, we're trying to raise a lot of awareness because everything requires resources, inshallah.
Mashallah, that's nice. Ya Sheikh, wajua katika wakati huu mgumu huku tuona watu tuwafunga, alhamdulillah. Brother yetu Muhammad ametuambia kuwa katika pale Kibra wako na ile initiative ya kupata kuwafuturisha watu. Sisi pia hapa nchini tuna tabu yetu pia. Na pia wale pale wana tabu yao pia vile vile. Labda katika zile vitu ambazo sisi ambao tuko hapa nchini tunaweza zidisha zaidi ni kama kufanya nini?
Okay, boycotting tu.
Ili tupate kusaidia kote kote.
Oh, naam.
Naam.
Ya mwanzo ni kufuturisha pia. Sababu si misikiti tu mikubwa peke yake. Mpaka misikiti midogo midogo iliyoko Nairobi na Kenya pia inaweza kuchangia kwa njia hizo hizo. Kwa nini tunafuturisha? Kufuturisha mtu anapata thawabu kwa njia tatu. Ya kwanza unapata ajiri ya ile saum, ya pili tunakuwa ni aun, msaada hapa Kenya na nchi ya nje. Kivipi? Mtume sallallahu alaihi wasallam atuambia man aftara saiman, yeyote atakayemfutirisha yule mwenye kufunga atapata mithlu ajri, mfano malipo ya aliyefunga. Wala yanqus minhu shay'an, na yapunguziwi kitu chochote. Ya pili, yule aliyofuturishwa ataona amekumbukwa na ndugu yake. Talala, kumbe wenzetu wamejua hali zetu ni za shida, ametukumbuka pia sisi huko mtaani. Kwa hivyo atafurahi, ataona, atajihisi kwamba yeye pia ametambulika kama Muislamu. Ya tatu, wale waliopika chakula na wakaziuza kwa njia ya iftari, inakuwa ni njia ya mchango kwa njia hii ya iftari. Huko watu wanainuana kwa kufuturu na huko watu wanachangia kwa njia moja ama nyingine. Na la ajabu ni kwamba Mtume sallallahu alayhi wasallam atuambia man aftara saiman kanat maghfiratan lidhunubi, atakayemfuturisha aliyofunga ni anapata kufutiwa sehemu ya madhambi yake. Kwa hivyo ni uslub na suluk zile tunatakana tuhimizane, njia mzuri sana ambapo kwamba ni moja katika kupeana au usaidizi katika wale ndugu zetu waliko kule Gaza.
Na Sheikh, wajua kwa yale yote ambayo yanatokea Gaza ni baina ya watu wawili ambao wanapigana. Na je, wale watoto ambao wanakuwa pale, yani maisha yao itakuwa vipi? Bali tuwaona ile wanalelewa katika mazingira ambayo tunaona ni vita na wanashuhudia vifo vya vipenzi vyao, wanatizama pale kila wakati. Je, ile mental illness yao inakuwa vipi? Hawa watoto wakiwa hawatakuwa ni watoto ambao wanakuwa watu wazima lakini wamejawa na hasira na chuki moyoni. Je, katika masuala kama haya dini yetu inatueleza tuwapokee vipi na tuwafunze vipi?
Naam, hali hizi zinatokea hata katika zile sehemu zimepata shida, wacha hata huko mbali, hata huko kwetu sisi. Mtoto waathirika aweza kuwa anapata picha ya unyama akiwa mdogo. Sababu yeye kuona kifo na kuizoea imekuwa ni jambo la kawaida. Kusikia mlipuko na kusikia risasi ni jambo la kawaida. Asa hukuwa na njia nyingine tofauti. Mtoto kama huu huenda akapata utu uzima mapema, yani akawa matured, akili yake mapema ikabeba, imma kawa katika baina mbili, imma akaingia katika fujur ama akaingia katika wema. Kama tunavyozungumzia malezi mara nyingine yanakuja na hali, na hawa watoto wamepata uzito katika hali walizokuwa nazo. Kwa hivyo tutarajia watatokea mara mbili. Kuna wale watoto watapanda na kuchafuka, na kuna wale watoto ambao kwamba watakuwa katikati ya kuchafuka, yani kuwa wanyama na kuwa watoto tofauti. Na hizi ni hali ziko.
Na asante sana Sheikh. Na labda Muhammad Amin, kuhusiana na masuala ya michango, labda hiyo ni njia moja tu ya kupata kuwasaidia mandugu zetu ambao katika Gaza na katika mapigano ambayo inaendelea katika nchi yao. Labda kando na kuchangisha, muona ni mbinu gani zingine zinaweza buniwa ili tupate kuwasaidia mandugu zetu?
Naam, mimi nadhani kwanza kitu cha muhimu ni tuelewe Gaza. Nini inayotokea na nini inaendelea. Kwa hivyo Muislamu nasema mtu yoyote jukumu yake ya kwanza ni kuelewa yale ambayo kwamba yanaendelea Gaza, historia ya nchi yenyewe ya Palestine na wale ambao kwamba wamekuwa ni wenye kuwafanyia na kuwatendea dhulma. Ya pili nasema kadri ya hiyo sisi Waislamu lazima tuwe ni wenye kusema kutoa dua. Tuwaombee dua wale wenzetu ambao kwamba wanapitia janga kama hili na tuelewe kwamba ni mtihani kutoka kwa Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala kwao na kwetu pia. Kwa hivyo tutoe dua. Ya tatu tufanye sadakat, ndio kama vile tunazozungumzia. Na nitaangazia tu kama hii masala ya iftar, kuna mradi hiyo inafanyika, ni kwamba kwa kila shilingi 250 ambayo kwamba utakuwa unachangia kulisha mtu mmoja pamoja na kutuma nini marupurupu yako pale Gaza. Na hiyo ni mradi ndio imeshikiliwa na Voices of Palestine, na for any contribution ambayo kwamba ungependa kuchangia tuma katika paybill ya inaitwa Jamia na ni 160770. So kuanzia 250 shillings waweza ukawa unachangia kulisha mtu iftar na kumpa nini na kumpa usaidizi nchi ya Gaza. Na ukitaka kujumuika zaidi, kuna misikiti zote zinajihusisha katika hii mradi. Kuna vouchers vijana wanajitolea wanazunguka nayo pale msikitini wanachangia. La nne nasema sisi tuna jukumu ya kueneza, to raise awareness on what is happening in Gaza. Wakati wowote ukipata fursa uko katika simu yako ukiona clip kuhusu Gaza, share, tell the story, because watu wengi wanachukua hiyo jukumu ya kuzuia zile stories za Gaza zisitoke nje. Kwa hivyo sisi kama changamoto ambayo kwamba tuko nayo ni kuhakikisha ya kwamba tunaweka rasilimali yetu kuzungumzia masala kama hiyo. Na ya tano ndo kama vile Sheikh alikuwa ashaguzia, kuna kampeni ya kufanya boycott. Kuna baadhi ya makampuni na bidhaa ambazo kwamba zinashirikiana na wale wa Israeli, na ni jukumu yetu kama Waislamu kuwahamasisha, kuzuia na kuendelea kufanya nini, kuzungumzia haki za wale ambao kwamba wanapitia Palestina. Kadri ya hayo kuna miradi tofauti insha Allah huenda yakabuniwa, lakini cha kwanza ni ile tuwe na ile mazingatio ya kwamba wewe binafsi katika hadithi ya Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam nasema ukiona jambo mwanzo ni ulizuie na nini na mkono. Usipoweza kuzuia na mkono uzuie na nini na mdomo na ulimi. Na ikiwa hutazuia na ulimi, basi ni ufanye nini, ulichukie. Na hiyo ndio katika dhaifu katika imani. Kwa hivyo sisi kwanza ni tujisuluhishe na mali ambayo kwamba tunaweza tukafanya kadri ya mikono yetu, ndimi yetu, kisha na ndio hapo tuende katika raha insha Allah.
Na pale katika paybill nadhani Sheikh wetu pia wiki jana alikuwa pia amezungumzia masuala kama, na nadhani sote mchango huu wote wa Gaza paybill ni moja hiyo ya Jamia. Labda Sheikh wangu utaturudilie ile paybill tu kwa kututajia wiki jana hapa, alafu labda katika masuala ya kuboycott kuna wale hawaelewi zaidi. Kuna wale ukimwambia boycott hajui atafanya nini. Mathalan Waswahili wanasema kususia. Labda Sheikh hapo tungependa utueleze kwa ufasaha zaidi na umuhimu wake, kwa kuna watu wengine wanaona mimi hata nikitumia hii samli ama yuto, mimi maadamu nimeshiba nimepikia familia niko sawa.
Inshallah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Katika masala ya boycotting maana imekuja katika Kiarabu ni muqata'a. Na dini yetu ya Kiislamu ina masdar 4, mashiko manne. Mashiko ya kwanza ni al-Qur'an al-Karim, lazima turudi reference kwenye Qur'ani tukufu. Wa sunnatul mukhtar ni hadithi thabita ani nabii sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ya pili, masdar ya pili ni hadithi. Masdar ya tatu ni maneno ya ulama, kaulul aimma, kwamba ni kaulul jamhur. Na masdar ya nne ni al-qiyas. Ni al-qiyas al-jali, ni kukisi kwa elimu. Umar ibn Khattab radhiallahu anhu alisema mambo 12. Mambo 12 ni katika mambo ya kisheria. Akataja baina mambo ya halali na haramu. Sasa hii masala boycotting ndio inakuja hapo. Maana yake Muislamu, when you boycotting you are free literally katika ile kosi unayofanya. Isiwe kitu unafanya itadhuru mwingine. Takhafu ma taf'alu alla yadhurru ahadan. Naogopa ile jambo unafanya, yani kitu umenunua, product umenunua, isiwe ni sababu ya kumdhuru mwingine. Na hii atakana tuangalie na sisi. Ikiwa amepita mtu na kuna mwizi ameshikwa, yuapigwa, wewe utachangia moja kwa moja kumpiga yule. Wangapi amekuwa ni mwizi lakini amepiga innocent? Kwa hivyo kuzuilia ile ndio masala imekuja kwa maana ya boycott, na kwamba ni mukatwa, kukata, kupeana nguvu kwa products ambazo kwamba zitawapatia nguvu wale ambao kwamba wanawapiga ndugu zetu kule, ni Mayahudi wanaopiga ndugu zetu kule Gaza, kuwapa nguvu kuendelea kuwadhalilisha. Ikawa wewe umechangia njia moja ama nyingine. Na Muislamu atakana atahadhari, achunge kitu chochote anachofanya isiwe ni sababu ya kumdhuru mtu mwingine. Kando na nchi ya nchi, hata hapa kwetu sisi, isiwe jambo unafanya na kazi unafanya itakuwa ni sababu ya watu kudhurika kupitia ile mali yako na utumia ama zile vitu unazozitumia. Naam.
No, vizuri sana. Labda Muhammad Amin, maybe what are some of the ways that we can use the technology and the social media in terms of keeping out or raising this voice or alarming out what's happening in Gaza? You've mentioned something about, maybe let us speak about the perspective of where most of the youth are in their social media, and maybe they're the ones more active compared to the elderly people. Maybe what are some of the strategies that we can use as youth and young people to raise the voice of these people in Gaza?
So I think the generation that we are in right now, it's the generation that we call the social media generation.
Yes.
And that's where there is a lot of investment and innovation in terms of what we are able to do within the social space. So at a bare minimum, I would say, for you right now, who has a smartphone, you have access to a lot of information. That is one of the most powerful tools you will ever possess, this phone that you have currently. So, but you can only realize its potential if you genuinely take time and ask yourself what impact you want to leave or what footprints you want to leave. And you see, some of these things have been created in a way to also bring fitna within our communities, but then they also, what do you call it, they also give us an opportunity. I say social media is rigged because whatever you feed yourself, that's what it keeps providing you. For example, I'll talk about the likes of timelines on maybe Instagram, Facebook. You post or share something, there is what the algorithms and the analytics do, and they try to make sure that the same things that you've sort of raised attention on, they keep populating your timeline. That's why sometimes you'll go out, maybe look at a shoe, and then immediately you come back online and you start seeing shoes within your timeline, and you're wondering, how do these people know? So it curates your search history. It does whatever you do outside here. And I'll speak, for example, for Facebook. They link a lot with other, the World Wide Web, like other sites. So you can even be outside Facebook and it tracks your activity and it will customize ads relative to that. So if you are seen as a person who raises awareness on causes, then that your timeline starts being populated with that. So the moment you see that, the first obligation you have is, one, to like and share. And this one has two impacts. Number one, you will have continued to raise awareness on what is happening. But number two, you're also setting aside something for yourself for the akhirah, because that will precede you, inshallah. Whatever khair it is that you share on social media will precede you. So there has to be a very deliberate strategy in how we do that, because I can share something, you can share something, but if we all share the same thing, we then amplify the voice and raise a lot more awareness. So the strategy has to be, we have to be very deliberate in how we're doing this awareness. We have to look at, for example, Sheikh has talked about the boycott. What are these companies that we're trying to boycott? What are these products that we're trying to boycott? And the moment we have identified someone who is supporting the oppression of Muslims, brothers and sisters in these lands, then it becomes our own responsibility. So social media can be very integral because it has essentially made the world a very global village, you know. And over the period of this oppression in Gaza, we have seen a lot of non-Muslims start embracing Islam because of the impact of social media. You know, we have brothers and sisters who are giving testimony. They are starting to learn more about the religion. They are starting to invest more. They are starting, if you look at recently, some of the, what do you call it, the protests that are happening in outside the countries, in Europe, in the US, within different states, these are not Muslims. A lot of them are majority non-Muslims, but they are rising to speak about oppression. So then what about you and me, who are now Muslims, and it is our responsibility to take care of our brothers and sisters. So social media, we cannot afford to take it lightly. We have to be very structured. We have to have one global campaign. We have to have regional campaigns. We have to have national campaigns, you know, to that extent. And we need collaboration within our places of worship, especially our masajid. We need to continue raising awareness. If we have a social media campaign going on, that's what we need to start speaking on, inshallah.
Yes, you know, you've mentioned a good thing, the collaboration and the inclusivity of each and every person. And before this, there was South Africa. They decided to take this matter to court, here to the ICC. Maybe what is your take on that, on what South Africa has done? Should each and every country try to see that and follow it, to do it like a suit?
No, I mean, you see, that is just one example of people who are taking it based on the humanity aspect. You know, they've not even looked at the faith aspect. They're looking at it, these are our brothers and sisters in whatever nature, and they do not deserve to go through what they are going through. You know, this is beyond oppression. You know, some are calling it ethnic cleansing, you know. So first, everyone needs to, like we say, kuwa na mkutano na nafsi yako. You know, ask yourself, is this, whatever is happening, is it right? So as individuals, as nations, as continents, we have to rise above and raise this voice. So the challenge then becomes, what do we do to sustain efforts like what our South African counterparts have done? And we cannot afford to wait and see what happens, because a lot of what's happening currently is a lot of pressure is being generated amongst these conversations. I know that there are certain congresses that are having these matters being discussed, you know, albeit very privately, but they are being discussed on those levels. So for us, one, we need to be very to mobilize, we need to be very organized, and then as we amplify those voices, we have to make sure that we are understanding what is happening within the globe. If there is an effort in Australia, how are we able to highlight it? If there is an effort somewhere within the Middle East, how are we then able to amplify that and identify with it? Because this is a human cause. But the other thing is, I see a lot of brothers and sisters talking about, you know, but then this is, you know, it breaks them down, whatever they see, and that is our human nature, because if you see something wrong, you see oppression, you will feel bad. But you also have to ask yourself and understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's decree will always come to pass. And whatever He has written, we can only try and transform it through our dua. So therein lies our role. It literally tells us what we can do. You know, number one, accept that it is qadar, that whatever is passing is what Allah has decreed will come to pass. And number two, the only way we can create ease or try and transform the circumstance is by continually making dua. So when you see something like our South African brothers have made an effort, and you're feeling like there is nothing I can do, challenge yourself that you can contribute to that effort. A very big thing we need to start doing is curating a lot of content on the oppression that is happening in Gaza. There are a lot of stories that are being told. If you open your timelines on social media, they are everywhere. But now we need to have it in a very structured way, because that is what, unfortunately, especially the Western propaganda and the media are doing to stop us from having this very whole narrative, you know. So we have to combat the disinformation campaign within media and social media, and perpetuate the positive, the reality within the ground. Inshallah.
And that's nice. You know, Shah, we've mentioned about South Africa, but we're forgetting we have Islamic countries. What are they doing? Despite this thing, it's not all about the Muslim countries, because we've seen South Africa, they've moved out, trying to defend, trying to speak out for these people. What are the Muslim countries doing?
Alhamdulillah. Baadhi za nchi za Kiislamu zimetumia njia ya boycotting. Kama utapata Middle East, wale ambao kwamba wanatumia KFC, wale wanatumia ile McDonald, wameraise alama, wameteta kwa sababu hawanunui kwao. Kwa hiyo kuna kwa njia moja ama nyingine wameweza, na wengine pia wameraise alama. Baadhi ya nchi za Kiarabu zimeraise alama, baadhi ya nchi za Kiarabu zimenyamaza. Hiyo pia imetuhuzunisha pia.
Wajua kusema kunyamaza, Muhammad ametaja hadithi moja ya Rasul, akasema kuna vitu vitatu kufanya ukiona kitu ambacho hakiridhishi. Sasa amechagua ile ya tatu, bora uchukie tu ukae kimya vile.
Jina nchi kibeba jina mbili, kibeba jina la Uislamu, inatakana izungumze Kiislamu. Na wale wamebeba daulatain, zingine zimebeba dola mbili. Kwa hivyo tungesikia sauti zao pia tungefurahi zaidi. Ikiwa nchi ya Kiislamu inaweza kunyanyuka na itete kama South Africa, inamaanisha tungepata uzito zaidi katika nchi zile zetu za Kiislamu.
Vizuri sana. Sheikh, labda utugusie tu umuhimu wa sadaka. Kwa hii yote lazima tuhimize watu na wajue umuhimu wa kutoa sadaka pia vile vile. Kwa mtu asipojua maana, atashindwa kutekeleza yale wajibu ambao anastahili kufanya. Labda katika dini yetu ya Uislamu, katika kutoa na ndani ya mwezi huu mtukufu wa Ramadhani inakuwa vipi? Tumeangalia Muhammad Amana tuambia pale Kibra wana initiative ambao ni shilingi 250 peke yake. Utakuwa umemlisha mtu na nyingine labda itaenda kumsaidia mtu hasa. Na umuhimu wa sadaka ni vipi kwa tukielekea kumaliza? Naona na dakika 3.
Fadhila za sadaka ni muhimu sana. Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala ameeleza ndani ya Qur'ani na Mtume sallallahu alaihi wasallam ametuelezea. Na la ajabu ni kwa siku kama ya leo ya Ijumaa. Lakini imekataza kufanya tahsis. Anasema as-sadaqatu tudha'afu yawm al-jum'ah. Sadaka huongezeka. Wa fi hadithi as-sadaqatu tuzad yawm al-jum'ah. Sadaka huongezeka siku ya Ijumaa. Ni different na kutoa siku zingine. Lakini kila siku inaruhusiwa watu wafanye nini? Watoe sadaka. Katika faida ya sadaka ni kwamba unamkumbuka mwenzako. Na pili unajizuia wewe, kwa sababu sadaka tutfi'u ghadab rabbi. Sadaka inazuia hasira ya Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Sadaka inakutetea. Wa sadaqatu burhan. Sadaka itakuwa ni utetezi siku ya Kiyama. Kwa hivyo sadaka zile tunazotoa zina role kubwa sana. Na kijamii inaunua jamii. Kwa sababu mmekumbukana. Kwa mtu mwenyewe inamuinua yeye, kwa sababu lan tanalu albirra hatta tunfiku mimma tuhibbun. Hamtofanya wema mpaka mtoe mnavyovipenda. Na hii uliona kwa mtume wetu Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam alikuwa, na zaidi ya Ramadhani alikuwa ajwadun nas, kwa mzuri zaidi katika kutoa zaidi ya zile miezi mingine. Alikuwa mtoaji sana. Mpaka wakisema karihin mursila, kama mfano wa upepo. Na mtume kweli alikuwa ni mstari wa mbele katika kutoa. Na sisi Waislamu tumehimizwa kutoa kwako mwenyewe, kwa jamii na kidini. Na ndio tunaona imekuwa nakdia, natoa mapeni. Ya pili tunatoa al-ainia, vitu na pia nasaidizi. Ya tatu tunatoa al-fi'liya, mwenyewe nguvu zako unatumia. Tumia nguvu zako kwa matendo, na zote zina athari katika jamii.
Na vizuri sana kwa muda unasi, naona dakika moja tu nitakupisha Muhammad Amin, labda kauli yako ya mwisho tu kwa wale ambao wanatizama, upate kuwajuza tu pia umuhimu wa kuchangia katika masuala hii ya Gaza kidogo tu ili tumalize.
For me, I would like to just challenge everyone, inshallah. I think we need to be very proactive in what we are able to do. And what we've managed to, our collaboration with the Voices for Palestine, shows that you don't need to be a very big organization anywhere. You don't need to be a member of state or something to do something. But if we go back to our communities, our indigenous communities, we can do something on behalf of Gaza, inshallah. So let's kindly just try and make sure that everything that we're trying to raise awareness on continues to be amplified from the ground, and then it will pick up its voices, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah, ataleta nusra yake.
Thank you so much for that parting shot, and thank you so much our Sheikh for your inputs and also acknowledgement about the importance of giving out charity as a Muslim and also into this beautiful month of Ramadan. I hope my viewer back at home, you've understood and also gotten some few tips on how you can help the people in Gaza whom are dying there, trying to fight, trying to find their ends meet, that it's almost impossible, but Allah is there. And I really like to thank you for staying with me from 8 a.m. till 9 p.m. now. And I want to thank also my sign language interpreter, Mariam Jamaluddin, for also waking up early and also to show up into these studios today. And also my thanks goes back to those and each and every person who prepared and also made it possible for us to have this discussion and to have this show this beautiful morning on this beautiful Friday. My name is Abdurrahman Gadaffi Yassin, and the show was The Muslim Insight. I'm taking not a short break, I'm going, but I'll see you later on Beyond the Mimbar. Keep watching Horizon TV to get more information, to get more inputs, and also to improve your iman by watching our programs here at Horizon TV. My name is Abdurrahman.